someone else.
Oh, yes.
I can't bear it! It's this new husband. Who is he?
Don't smash my thing. As to the new husband, yes. That was a question I posed to Mr. Norton's livery man, under the disguise of a surveyor collecting research on manure particles in Greater London. Do you know what's in our water? Disgusting, yes. But as to Mr. Norton, what I learned about him is that he's a lawyer who came to Miss Adler after a romance with a certain roguish nobleman. Yes, therefore the courtship of their own, vested by the speed of the nuptials themselves.
So, now that she's married, she has no need to blackmail the king, and we can get you safely out of London.
That's a great point, Watson. You're coming along quite fine. But, what of the husband? He could find the photograph and use it against the king too.
Oh, that's true. Where could it be? Can't you hazard a guess?
I never guess, sir. It is a capital mistake. Now tell me, this photograph of yours, was it small enough to keep on a locket?
Well, no. In fact, it's a little bit bigger.
So she couldn't hide it necessarily.
Perhaps she entrusted it to a friend.
Oh no, I think not. Women are naturally secretive ones. I suspect that she's probably keeping it in her own home.
But we've had a house burgled a number of times.
Yes, well, your burglars didn't know where to look.
And you do?
No.
How will you even gain access to our house? Do you expect she'll just invite you in?
No, sir, her husband. He will let me in.
You telling me her husband will invite you into her home?
No, he shall carry me.
Carry you?
Yes, carry me.
He will carry you into his home and tell you the secret location of a photograph that he doesn't even know exists?
What are you looking at, Walton? Yes, that is precisely what he shall do.
So, Watson, have you heard of this baseball? Well, it's no cricket, I'll tell you that.
I'm hungry. Rose, you're always hungry. I've nothing to eat in this bloody town.
Let's rob a bakery.
Will they have food? Of course they'll have food. It's a bakery.
Yeah.
Look there.
Who is that man?
Is that Mr. Holmes? He
Got
looks
something,
funny.
Mr. Holmes?
He must be off his nutter.
Unhand that young girl's hat.
My purse. Mr. Holmes.
Listen, I need you three to beat me up right now.
But Mr. Holmes, our mother said not to do that no more. It's
No.
not proper like. Not proper.
Not proper at all.
Your mom. Yeah, perhaps that's something to say that.
Perhaps not.
You're all from a really poor family, correct? I didn't mean that to offend. But the point is, I have some money.
For the sweet shop.
Yes.
Don't invest all your money in the sweet shops, dear. Can you?
Oh, what should we do? Put it in a bank? Oh, someone's coming.
I see that. Now, here's the money.
Who can provide?
No biting.
I hope there's at least 2 shillings each there.
Yes, of course, you'll be paid back. Now, I don't have time for this. He's coming. I need you to beat me up right now. Come on, quick.
All right.
Oh! 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 They're taking my money! Stop! Stop!
Oh, blimey.
You hooligans, stay away from here! Wait, father, what's going on? Yeah, Lord, that was a real gun. Sit down and I'll call for the maid. Mary! The father needs a clean handkerchief! Oh, God bless you, Lenny. Oh, it breaks an old man's heart. Pardon? Those hooligans outside reaching for a young girl's past should not have let them to the fray, Father. Had the police been called? There was no need. But they may wish to. Please, take no more, please.
This is for you, Bishop.
Oh, God bless you, lass. This one's all covered with blood and guts. Thank you. Well, don't trouble yourself with that. or not?
Godfrey, please.
Well, this remarkable woman was once the most celebrated singer in Europe. Really?
Till a man she loved shattered her heart. Oh, she has never sung again.
What a regrettable episode to hear.
Yes, well, the world is full of singers, Father. It's your work which truly interests me. To wrestle with the great questions, to confront the mysteries of each soul gone astray, and through cunning and diligence to solve them. How I envy you that.
Yes, well,
Pray for me, won't you?
Irene, what on earth?
So the whole thing was an act. The London stage lost a great talent when Holmes devoted his life to the criminal mind.
What is the blood?
Just a bit of red paint.
Next to the proper consistency.
And crouched to his face in the midst of the strong.
And the hooligans?
Just the Baker Street irregulars.
So even the woman with the purse?
One of ours.
You see, Your Highness, it takes incredible planning to produce a random event.
2 nights later, under cloak of darkness, Holmes returned to Bryony Lodge. To retrieve the photograph, of course, and next he stood before us at Baker Street. His face was ashen, and his eyes were fierce with wonder.
There I was, Watson. I'd broken into Miss Adler's house and gone directly to the sitting room. I found that her cabinet was unlocked, and once more, empty. And just as I was about to start at close and discuss, I found this, a letter, marked for me.
Dear Mr. Holmes, you are as good as promised. Your disguise fooled my husband and the staff, but knowing the king would hire only the best, I suspected you from the start. One actor can never fool another. As I am not of noble birth, the king thought me unworthy to be his queen, and crushed me beneath his boot. Still, I regret nothing. I had no intention of blackmailing him, though I shout that the photograph is a safeguard, a weapon against future reprisals. For his part, Mr. Norton has married me for the woman I am, not the woman he wishes me to be. How rare to find that in a man. As you read this note, he and I should be sailing to America to begin our new life. Though you and I shall never meet again, Mr. Holmes, please know I shall forever remain truly yours.
Miss Irene Adler Norton. Watson, in my long career, I have only been bested 4 times. 3 by men, and now a 4th by a woman.
Oh, but a queen she would have made.
Still no, it is done. You have the report later request.
So clever, resolute.
Yes, indeed.
Such cunning, such bravery of spirit.
Now, you don't mind.
The finest thing under a bonnet on this planet.
Shall see you on your way.
Do you suppose, Watson, that Miss Adler knew that I knew where the photograph was located?
Of course, that is why she left a note there for you in her cabinet.
Yes, but why leave it unlocked?
She wanted to be certain that you would find it. Now,
Anybody could have found it. Her husband, her maid.
I take your point, but please
And
let...
what's more, why leave it at the bottom of the cabinet where I could have missed it entirely?
Perhaps it fell.
Yes, precisely.
So it fell. That is incidental.
Ah! The incidental fact, Watson, is often the most vital. Have I taught you nothing? No. I suspect that Miss Adler, when she was taking the letter, leaving the letter and taking the photograph in its place, she was quickly accosted and captured. Thus, it was left unlocked, and the letter fell to the bottom of the cabinet.
Captured by who?
By Godfrey Norton, of course.
So you believe that he's not a lawyer?
Oh no, Watson. I fear that he is, and so much more. You see, This handkerchief was given to me by a careless maid, and it bears his true initials, J.F.
It's not Godfrey Norton at all.
Watson, to the index.
Holmes, we haven't time.
First name J, last name L. Thank you. It all fits, don't you see? The fear of police, the rushed wedding.
Laplanders, larcenists, ladybugs.
Ladybugs? Why is that even in there?
It's your index.
He has you there, Holmes.
We need a name.
Larkin, LaRouche, Larrabee,
Larrabee. That's it. First name?
James.
J.F. James Larrabee. And what does the card say?
Formal legal councilman, swindler, rake, confidence man of dubious moral.
That is a man.
Flip the card. What does that say?
In association with
In association with whom, Watson?
Moriarty.
So the marriage. Is he Holmes saying it was a sham?
Yes, a genius one. I imagine with your own wedding just a few days away, that photograph will fetch an enormous ransom.
And I'll pay it.
You will do no such thing. No, we need the power of the photograph to secure Miss Adler's freedom.
Are you speaking of using Miss Adler as bait?
Dear heavens, no! Of course not. I would never ask that of her. Good. You, sir, you're the bait.
What?
Now, come to my desk. Listen, you must make yourself as obvious as possible in London. Throw some parties, get really wasted, man, and then go out and make yourself known to the world.
But my wedding.
Your wedding. Sorry, that was a little too far. I understand it's a big deal, but listen, it'll only take a couple of days, and you will be on your way. Sound good?
I don't like this at all.
Yes, me neither.
Holmes, give the police the whip they need, and they will capture Moriarty for you.
I require that pleasure for myself, sir.
Holmes, why must you do this?
Because it's delightful, Watson, don't you see? My entire life has been an attempt to escape the ordinary.
That is not the reason, and you know it. It is her, that woman. She's done this. Finally, the thick emotional defenses of your heart has been cracked.
You know how I feel about love, sir. You're starting to offend me.
At last, your heart has overthrown your head.
Watson! I shall see you in the morning!